Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. So today's episode, Wednesday, is all about your website. It's an investment, not a cost. So recently, I've been doing a lot of consulting. And by the way, it's not paid for consulting. It's not something I offer. It's not something I do. But every now and again, somebody reaches out, and I've at the right time and the right, I've got a bit of time. And more often than not, one of the big problems is websites. And I cannot stress this enough, that to have the right website, to invest some money, will have a massive impact on your business. If you have the right website, the right information, the correct persuasion on your website, it's like a member of staff that is constantly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, selling your self-storage facility. It doesn't take holidays. It doesn't take a break. Now, please, I implore you, I think is the right word, to look at your website. And I've done a website episode before where I tell you the 5 major factors that you need for a good website. And so many people don't do the simple things right. And I was going to say, I'm not a website expert, but I do like to say that I spend a lot of time looking at websites and marketing, and spend an ungodly amount of money on consultants, etc. And yeah, we have got some really, really fantastic website developers that we use, and we spent an absolute fortune on it, but purely because it never sleeps. A website never sleeps. So what I want to talk to you about today is a mistake that I made. So Beverly, bloody hell. Do you know what? Every single episode at the minute is like a mistake I made, a mistake I made. Holy shit. Right. So it's not real. Well, it is. I can't dress it up any other way. It's a mistake. Right. So Beverly Self-Storage, beverly24.co.uk, by the way, if anybody wants to check it out. We was the only self-storage in town. There was another caravan self-storage, but they was maybe a mile or two outside Beverly. And there wasn't really competition. And then my landlord, opened up in competition against me. And until that point, I was the only person in Beverly with a self-storage facility. So I didn't have to do anything spectacular to win. Just like most people right now, just like most companies listening to this, just like most self-storage facilities, we don't have to be great to win. We don't have to be great to be profitable. And the problem is, it lures us into a false sense of security. It lures us into thinking we're better than we really are. Now, I knew the Beverly site needed updating. I knew the Beverly site was archaic, the way we did things. But to be honest, it didn't really matter, because we was the only game in town. And this is why competition rises all boats, because it makes you better. And I promise you, in the next few years, we're all going to have to be better collectively. We're all going to have to be better, because you will have more competition. I don't care who you are, in what town you're in. I promise you, if you've got a population of over 10,000 people, you will, I can't promise you, but you will more than likely have some form of competition coming. It's going to happen to us all. And we can't be mad at the competition coming in. We can't be, I can never, ever be upset at my landlord. I can never be upset at somebody coming to Hull. I can never be upset that somebody coming opposite me at Clough Road or whatever, because that's life, that's competition. And the only way to protect ourselves from the competition is be as good at self-storage, be the best operator that we can possibly be. That's how we protect ourselves. We educate ourselves. We learn. We test. We innovate. We test. We learn. We innovate. And it's a never-ending cycle, because we always want to be pushing and testing at what works and what doesn't work. And that, my friends, is the only way that we'll insulate ourselves from the competition. So what did I learn? I learned that when my competition came in, they were showing the prices. So what happens is they show the price. They go on the website and they show the prices, right? That's the way that Store recommends we do it. I personally still don't subscribe to that. I don't like it. There's many reasons, and I will do an episode about why when I get more data, because at the minute I've gone back to not showing prices on my new facility just today. So when you listen to it, it was yesterday when I recorded it, so Tuesday. But I haven't got data to conclusively prove or not prove. I've got data that suggests that in my area, it is the best thing to do to not show prices, but nothing conclusive yet. We'll do another episode about that, because at the minute, I feel like it's a really big debate in the industry, what's right and what's wrong. So currently, the competition in Beverly actually show their prices. And I know why people do it. And if I was a one-man band, if I had other businesses, because I've got other businesses, I probably would do the same thing, because I don't want to waste my time doing callback 1, callback 2, I don't want to waste my time doing that. So I can see why people do it. I can certainly see why people do it. But on my website, when they first opened, what you needed to do was you needed to either email us asking for a quote. Yes, that's how old-fashioned my site was. But please, before you judge me, realize that we was making 14 grand a month and we didn't need to do anything different. That's net profit, by the way. Yeah, net profit. 14 grand a month net profit, and we didn't need to do anything else because it worked. It worked. And so why break it? Why change it if it's not broken? And that was a mindset. Unfortunately, that was an incorrect mindset. It was, look, was it incorrect? Yeah, it probably was. You've been hypercritical. It probably was. I probably should have had a different mindset. I probably should have made sure that we changed the website before we was pushed into changing, because the only reason I'm changing it is because of competition. I don't like to be reactive, but ultimately I was being reactive. So you could only email us for a price. So you contact us page, hi, can I have some prices, please? Yes, and then we email them. I mean, that is so rubbish. That is the worst thing. Either show prices or hide your prices behind an information wall. Do not make somebody ring you up or send you an email. That is the worst thing you could possibly do. But like I said, we had no competition, so we didn't do that at Storm or Willoughby, which is our big site. Beverly, the great thing about a self-storage facility is once it matures and maturity, it just chugs along. It just, I don't want to say chucks out cash, but Beverly chucked out cash. It was mature. There was not a lot of moving parts, not a lot of quotes. There was not a lot of things to do. It was just a nice facility. We didn't really have to do anything with it. We could park it, and we could focus all our efforts on the expansion of Stormore Willoughby, of Stormore Clough Road. But when our competition came, we knew that we had to up our game. There's no way that we could continue doing that because we were slowly but surely losing the market share. Because who would you go to? You would go to the other site because there was less friction there, and customers love less friction. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, it's less friction to show your prices. Yes, it is, but there is also a friction for the customer because they don't understand the sizes. So sometimes they need help hand-holding the way through things. Anyway, I'll do a whole separate podcast about that. I just want to show you some data. So we changed it. And the first day we changed it was the 1st of March. So 15 days ago. And so what I'm going to do is tell you the first 8 days, of March, what actually happened to us. What were the results? So we changed it as to an information wall. So we changed it from having to email us or call us for the prices. We changed it to you could get the information by putting your details. So if you put your name, telephone number, an email address, then we could give you the price. Then you show your prices online. It would show you straight away, instantly. And for me, that's the best way to go. But it's a great debate. And so in the first 2 months, this is embarrassing. So in the first 2 months of the year, January and February, we moved in 260 square foot. 260 square foot we moved in the first 2 months of the year, January and February. After changing what we changed, so we changed it for the 1st of March to the 8th of March. We moved in 555 square foot. That is bananas. It is more than doubled the results, more than doubled the move-ins. So the first 2 months, we moved in 260 square foot. For the first 8 days in March alone, we moved in 555 square foot. That, my friends, is bonkers. In terms of quotes, in January, we had 19 quotes. In February, we had 35 quotes. Now, in March already, we have had 21 quotes. So we are going to have the most quotes we've had for it. Probably, I was going to say, will we beat January and February put together? Maybe, but it'll definitely be the busiest month on quotes for March because we've just implemented one little thing. So I implore you guys to look at your website as an investment. And if you've got to spend money on it, it's almost like you buy a container, you do a shop fit, you do the phase. I don't believe that there's any point in having an amazing self-storage facility if you're not focused on your website, because your website is absolutely everything. For me, it's more important than your shop front, because people will see you on the website more than they'll see your shop front. And so you've got to spend money on it. You've got to make sure it is the best it can possibly be. You have to get the experts in their field to design the website. I love looking at websites for self-storage, and again, we can always improve. We can always improve, and so that is a massive lesson learned for me. Is number one is be proactive, not reactive, and the only reason we've been reactive is because competition came in, and I had to improve, and we have done. And obviously, you can see straight away 555 square foot moved in the first 8 days of March, which was incredible considering that only 260 square foot, like I said, not many move-ins, not many move-outs in this site, only 260 square foot moved in January and February. But I've just said that there's not many move-ins, not many move-outs. So got to give you confidence that a site like this can still make 14 grand a month with not much activity. Is it quite 14 grand a month? I might be telling, it might be 13 grand a month. It probably is just over 13 grand a month that it nets. And so it's got to give you confidence, the fact that we don't got many move-ins and move-outs, but this site still can do quiet sites can still have that sort of impact, which is good. But yeah, 21 quotes so far this month, which has been the most of any month this year. So yeah, really, really good. One thing I want to talk to you about on Friday is Google Analytics. Again, it's an underutilized tool, and it's something that I have recently been diving into myself. I normally get other people to do it for me and then give me the data, but I've been having a look myself, and I'm going to talk to you about that on Friday. All right, my friends, thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. Hopefully you found this episode interesting, and I will speak to you on Friday. Have a great Wednesday, a great Thursday, and I'll see you soon. Bye.